Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of What the Hell Happened Last Week, Bitcoin edition. All right, I'm trying to. Oh, I was trying to figure out where my rainbow shirt. He called it rainbow shirt, bro. There's no way that's what this is called. There's no way that's what this is called. I don't know. I just smoke it. I don't know. But if I could get the like being in 2024, it's just so different. Like things are just so different with the plant, and in good and bad ways, I'll say. But more on that in another rant that I'll do. But long story short, we're looking at Bitcoin for all of last week, okay? And not really. I mean, we can include the Sunday and not really into the Sunday or the Saturday, but we can talk on it. And so I could do a separate video on how to trade Bitcoin on the weekend if you're like doing that. But long story short, what I'm really into though is understanding every single week has a template, and it's really not difficult to navigate one of these templates. And so, what the same way that I talk like with EU and like the sessions and like really being into like the bias of the day, not me. Okay, I was about to say not me losing the lighter too. That'd be crazy. Like, let's see, are we gotta okay, we gotta grab another vitamin water out the fridge. Okay. So here we go. Oh man. I think, and forgive me, the reason why I just said that is because like Bitcoin is so easy and people really get scared only because, it's the same people who feel as though trading is like, random, or, a lot of the options in crypto community are like the, hold for dear life type shit, and I'm just not into that. I'm not saying you can't swing trade, but what I'm saying is when you understand where price is going, you operate a lot differently. So, and what I say is like me personally, I don't have a lot of patience. For swing trading on certain assets, yes, but for the everyday ones that I know have a lot of value, if my objective is to make money and a lot of it, I don't have to do that and take a long time to do so. That's just my opinion. But long story short, when we're operating like this in a certain time, right? Now, what's fucked up is like me personally, I want you to see like it's always off, right? In some shape or form. So my whole point is watch from we have this Monday and I'll just do 12, right? And so let's do end of the week at 12 also. Okay. Now, first thing you notice that popped in is for value gap. First thing. And you notice how I always start on an hour time frame. People ask me why. It's only because and let's do like midnight. Okay. So long story short, from like Monday to Friday, right? Um, the whole objective is to come in and understand your not just your targets, but just understand what you can use to grab onto as a main idea. So number one, when we say like, hey, is there some sort of profile that we could use or something that's going to come in as a main idea? So number one, you see how I always operate with, some form of sessions, right? So um, this one switches at the 8 p.m., but nevertheless, the days are correct. So what I'm liking about it is I'm coming in and I'm trying to figure out by a certain time of the day where price is telling me it needs to go. So when I'm operating on this right here, right, we can go down to a lower time frame. Okay. This is fun. Now, obviously, this was I say this all the time. PD arrays are time frame specific, right? So this is a 1 hour fair value gap. Okay. Now, inside this 1 hour fair value gap, obviously we are mostly respecting it. Few wicks come up a little bit, but that's fine. Obviously, it's like a more refined parts of the imbalance that we can come in and use or not, right? Like, for example, if I went to the, and all this looks so clean. You see how it's not like not quite the 4 hour, but it's not quite the 3. Yeah, there you go. I was going to say, it's not quite the 3 and 4 hour, but it's definitely on your 2 hour right here where it looks a lot cleaner. And like I said, when you see certain structure in the marketplace and you're trying to align it, go look at it on more than one time frame. That way you can operate correctly. But my thing is, when you're looking for certain structure, right? Now, whether it's go back levels or, and that's what we're going to get to in a moment, but the biggest thing is coming in and saying, I understand the relationship between one day to the next. You have to understand that. Yes, you get this Sunday high, right? Then Monday comes in and it does dip down before the Monday and you travel down. But my point is, right? Even very slightly. Yeah, I was going to say that. Now watch this. Let's operate this. Now, what I'm telling you about is us understanding that um, every single day we talk about how like midnight is one of the most powerful tools to use in the marketplace. Every single day, midnight gives you the game, especially on Bitcoin. It's too easy. And every single asset that you see that runs on like a 24-hour, 23-hour type market runs the same way. And so when we're talking about daily candles, and again, very, very simple logic. We've already talked about the fair value gap. Okay. Now, whole point, mind you, I'm talking about midnight. See that? Now, even though, like I said, all this is happening, you might be confused. You're like, damn, wish I can get it a little higher. No, that's fine. You can come in and operate correctly. Algorithm resets at 12 every single day, giving you new opportunities. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Very simple. You want to be a seller above midnight, buyer underneath midnight. But you need to understand what side of the marketplace you're on so you don't mistake this for being long term and you don't mistake all this for being your bullish opportunity to go long to only then get stopped out aggressively. Understand what you're targeting. Okay. And like I said, it could be in the form of, and like I said, gold back levels, right? And we'll clean this up. Watch. So we're looking mostly at like the Monday panel. So let's do like Monday 12 to 12. How about that? And the reason why we study price action a certain way on this channel is because I want you to understand like the relationship between one concept to the next, when one concept is helpful by itself, when it's useful at what time of the day, what can you expect from a certain idea. Meaning, like I said before, I'm not looking for every single up and down price swing. I'm looking for what's abundant in liquidity and giving me a clear area that I could participate from. Selling from right above Monday is you being on that daily wick. I'll say it again. Selling above that Monday is you being right on the daily wick. And when it starts to range expand, you know it's not going to stop because this is the range expansion of the body of the full day. It's going to take liquidity on the sell side and leave uh, the highs protected mostly. Clean this thing. Now, my thing is, right? Now, watch. Do I sound stoned? I always wanted that. But I'm always stoned, so let's see. But I'm telling you, bro, my ability to teach is just no different. I just tell you about what I like to talk about. Um, and so what I was going to say is operating from this perspective, right? And we can see, right? Obviously, that Bitcoin is huge. It's the opposite of when we talked about stocks. So like this is using a quite a large power of three number to operate. I mean like very very small throughout the day. Um, let's check it out. Yeah, you see that? You see what I'm saying? Bitcoin can crush the 2187 in no time. Crush that shit in no time, bro. It's not difficult. And again, look at the move here, which is that right above midnight. So that's your protraction phase. Okay. And this is again right after midnight, up into 2 a.m., 3:30, and then down. The time is good. And it's the same time I always tell you about. It's that London session, right? I'm gonna classify it like that. Okay. Now let's make it easier on our eyes. Let's go. So watch, ready? Now again, you're right at EQ, so you've got to understand exactly what it means when you're here. Are you going for more sell side or is it bullish? And you do need to try to evaluate that when you get to a major level like an EQ. But mind you, um, this is a Bitcoin video, and you've also seen from um, the title of this video that we're talking about half shifts as well. So, as an introduction to half shifting, I want you guys to understand that the whole purpose of me showing you is so you can interact better with an EQ level. So, for a second, let's just outside of midnight, I want you to just look at something really quick. And again, you notice how we're coming up from the top, going down, boom. Now, how many times have you seen price like go from a high, stop at the EQ, and then actually reverse on you and go higher even? And you're like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? You're like, still, bro, I'm frustrated. I'm trying to think why we didn't go all the way to the dealing range. I'm thinking that we at least had like an algo one or two, which involves mainly completing the partition. So what the fuck is up with this going up or down? With the EQ being the reaction point. So the main thing is I want you to understand that when you want to check your trade, if you're managing from the top here already, or if you're trying to manage from somewhere here and to get it to still go down. You're trying to be really, really aware of this level. Now, when we talk about half shifting or 0.5 shifting versus whole shifting, like if I whole shifted it, this would be, watch, I'll go current down there. It's just replicating the entire thing by one. Now, instead, let's go up, right? I'm going to half shift it. All right. Now watch. Ooh. Now that's different. Now what are we looking at? Notice how when I half shifted it, this was previously EQ, right? Now, when you half shift it up or down, and I'll be honest, I'll give you advice. I've said it before in the video. When you half shift it, you want to be aware of like not just your bias or your perspective, but when you look at a dealing range, you've seen so many times how it like supports off the high, then makes a move, or supports from the low, makes a move, or if this breaks and this is really just a stop run, you see a lot of evidence of how it slightly looks different for you. So if this is really like a stop run, it would have really took liquidity, right? and then just blasted back up into the dealing range and had trouble breaking above the high, underneath the high again, and it would have been like this, right? And did all of whatever it wants to do, and then go upward. Now it did not do that. We obviously have support from our. Now again, when we have shifted, this EQ becomes a high or a low. Now I'm gonna shift it for you the other perspective in a moment, but I want you to see. Doesn't this look 10 times cleaner if we really try to like take a trade here? This looks like so much better of an idea than just looking at the EQ. Half shifting it switches your POV so you can actually interact with EQ a lot better. Now watch. See what I mean? So we're already looking to be sellers from above the midnight. Okay. Now watch. All right. But mind you, this is just an EQ level. It's just perfect. EQ, you're actually at a high or a low at on the half shift, like a regular high or low of dealing range. When you start to consolidate in the middle on an EQ, shift it real quick, half shift it real quick, and see what the vibe is. Now this looks clean to you, right? Now you're like, whoa, hold on. Now this is PO3 sell side liquidity. Failed to reach this go back level here, causing PO3 liquidity that we take for sure. Now, some of these levels make so much more sense to you now. You're like, damn, I can see that the EQ is not going to reverse me randomly here. When it's different, you'll see the vibe differently. Now say it like this, right? Watch when I upshift it the other way. Let's see if we make some sense of that. Oh wait, I'm going up infinitely, right? Like Jesus. Oh my God. Now right, that's EQ. Now 3. Now, see this, right? Okay. Now, mind you, do you see how this is why we look at midnight in time? Midnight being above this, going into a kill zone, this goes to show you that this is not going through the petition again bullish, even if it's half shifted again. So that's why it's not just about half shifting that's going to keep you on track. You need to have other parts of your narrative that are going to help you agree with that. So when you see a EQ or a really, really key level, you know that you could take a perfect trade from here and get it right on. Normally, I really like the EXT of the half shift. It's a really, really, really nice level. And right close to it or right near it, oh yeah, nah. Price rips from there and kills all sell side liquidity that was engineered. I love stuff like that. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, I want you to also come and be more responsible in your trading. Again, understanding that like each day is going to offer you a clean situation. Like you don't have to come in all the time and say, all right, well, I'm not sure what price is doing. I mean, yes, you know exactly what it's doing. You see what I'm saying? So when you get to the Tuesday, and it's funny, you can imagine when somebody asks me a question like, I'm so long-winded, like with my answers, like, yes, I could give it to you in a short way, sure. But the way I really like to explain it, that's why I do YouTube, bro. It's not really for just you guys. It's really for me. Because I'll look back on my own videos and be like, yeah, you need to get my thoughts down on that one. It's like me trying to freestyle, you know what I mean? Like I just need to get my thoughts out. So that's why like these videos come abundantly in the way they do when I'm in a flow state. You know, it's not really just me sitting down to be like, oh hey, let's just try to. No, like I said, I'm not like a regular YouTuber. Like I can give a fuck if you like this channel. I'll be honest. But my thing is, I just like getting information in a way, how I like to, give information. So I'm a very visual learner. So are you. And so when I see all this run above the midnight candle, oh my God, it's so clean. and you get all this protraction and you go lower. Sell side liquidity, fully engineered, easy. Easy. Same thing every day. And this operates giving you more than one scalp. But once you have like, midnight open, the run above it here, you already know that it's going to be this one that you're paying attention to. And then this one here, obviously, is a lot better, goes longer, and sell side liquidity is engineered to take it again. You're just going to have to deal with that because um, we talk about go back levels. Watch when we come down and we shift it down one, right? We can even go to like a lower one, like even like 729 would have told you that this was operating a certain way. You see what I mean? You don't actually have to understand or be confused. Understand that. Watch this. Now 729. I'm gonna stay on it, but let's see. Oh, oh. Okay, got it. So let's see if we want to go. I think it's this one. Or -1. Yeah, yep. That made sense. There it goes. It made sense. Aligns better. That's what I was looking for. So do you see it like why it came up like underneath this line a certain way? Yeah, it had to go to the high, the 2187, and then make the move from there. So that made more sense. See that? And we completed it all the way down too. You know? Yes, sir. And these are really easy. You know, just trying to operate a certain way. When you get to like the Friday, notice that like the third leg of the fair value gap is coming outside the fair value gap level, which is valid. I don't like it as much, but the gap is nice and this is valid, right? The structure itself of the gap does not have to be condensed within the small fair value gap uh, at the partition. It does not have to be like, conform to that. It could reference it in its own way. We'll talk about more about that in the Discord. But these are some of the easier things to do, man. I mean, you don't really have to be confused about what price is doing almost ever. It's up to you to have a better narrative, you know. Now look at this, right? When you get to what? 10 o'clock in the morning. Too clean. Too easy. You buy it up underneath midnight. Fair value gap. Simple. But people won't do that. They'll think that it's just luck or think that's just hindsight, but it works fine. You take out previous day's high and you get a second one. That's how you play intraday. Bitcoin especially too. Works perfectly. Look. Oh yeah. It's clean. Like what do you mean? I'm telling you. Get rid of all the noise to understand what's really relevant, you know? And so Bitcoin is such a great asset because you can really dominate from above or below midnight pretty much almost every single day. It's not every day, but almost every day. Notice how the Thursday doesn't quite get up there. But what is abundant is us having like these really, really nice days where, it creates a nice turtle soup intraday. But you need to be understanding of the bias. And it takes out the previous day's low. So that's also a big red flag. Thursday causes reversals as a function. See that? Yes, sir. Buy side liquidity, turtle shoe from previous day. So this is a day style turtle. Give you a fair value gap, internal range liquidity, rebalancing to give you more liquidity as well, taking out 2 days worth of buy side before you get a retracement. And we are now here. Makes too much sense, man. It makes too much sense. And so, yeah, if you guys like these styles of videos, just let me know. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Man, that was really fun.